Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here, Aylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan with one of those tiny little 14,490 pound half-ton towable ultralight fifth wheels. I'm joking, of course. This is most definitely up in the realm of dually country, and this is my kind of hashtag retirement goals. 14,490 pound Jayco Pinnacle 36FBTS. And this is not what I would call a common stock garden variety instance of this floor plan. Actually, this is a customer's, you could say custom order, personal build, whatever phrase you want, but somebody put their stamp on this one and said, this is how I want it. They've got it outfitted with a paint package, hydraulic disc brakes, third centralized air conditioner, giving us 45,000 BTUs of central air capacity. Pretty impressive. Going to get you through any hot climate. Then they've paired it up with the extreme weather package, hydraulic disc brakes to go along with Jayco's 5-star handling package. This is a big rig that you could take pretty much anywhere, pretty much anytime you wanted, and do pretty much anything you want with it. And to me, I think that is exactly who and what a Pinnacle is. The name really says it all. It is the Pinnacle, the tip top, the apex predator of the marketplace. And this is not going to be my shortest video. This is going to be some serious information for serious potential owners. And if you like what you see here, leave us some comments. Let us know, or if you have any questions, any concerns, anything that maybe I flubbed up or didn't get right. Leave me some comments as we go. And stay tuned, because this is a long one, and this is a fun one.
And from that vaulted ceiling down, it starts from the top and it never stops. There is so much for me to cover in here. I will do my best to kind of clip along at the best pace that I can, but I don't want to skip over what I feel are important things. And the trick is this RV is loaded with all those nice little touches that make you, why would you go Pinnacle instead of North Point, instead of Eagle or something like that? That's what I want to hit on in this video, because there's a lot of different reasons for it. This layout, though, one of the things it does just in general, before we even talk about all the Pinnacle fit and features, is just putting all the windows here on the door side of the RV. I prefer to see out my awning side of the camper. I don't mind windows on the other side of the RV, but I personally really prefer coverage over here, which is one of the things this layout does very well. Even up through the entry door has a big window, and up in the bedroom you see also has full viewing. For the 21 season, Jayco got rid of the carpet. This is a completely carpetless coach, and I love how they're using the same flooring in their slide floors they're using in the main deck. You actually need to use a better grade of linoleum to do that. That's a little known thing that Jayco's doing here. They don't always get the praise they deserve. So if we're looking at this thing here, it's just a great little, I mean, for the most part, this is a couple's arrangement. But if we take note here, this is also guest friendly with a pair of fold-out guest chairs that you can bust out when you need. The table does extend. And that cool little kind of shelf buffet, whatever you want to call it there, that also hides the outside entertainment center. There's a TV hidden behind that for outdoor enjoyment. All of the windows have day-night roller shades, and if you're looking at this, this is built with the dual pane window feature. I don't personally really like that insulated window sticker. I think that provides a different expectation. RV windows do not have, even dual pane windows don't have a significant R value increase when you go to those dual panes. What it will do, though, is really help drown out a lot of exterior noise. And when you're up in an echelon like this, it does start to really feel appropriate, I think. Now we're looking at the modern farmhouse decor today. The other option is called Silver Mist, which is also very beautiful in its own right. Definitely get a chance to compare the two when you have the opportunity. Power theater recliner over here. But one of the things I like that they're doing on North Point Pinnacle is wherever they have the space, they include this kind of little hidden fold-down console. So if you're a little bit bigger, fluffier, you need a little extra room, or let's say you got one of them grandbabies over for the weekend, you want to squeeze one of those little 8-year-old suckers between you and just enjoy that little snuggle time while you can get it. Take advantage of it. You can flip that up out of the way, or you got a place to keep drinks. There's a household and dual USB plugs in there, plus there's USB plugs in either side of the kind of master control panel there. Now, there's good storage here, and I don't want to miss any opportunity to look at any of it. So first of all, I want to start by looking up here above the sofa. But another thing you might not realize is both of the sofa side stands have this cool little hidden flip top. And we will see that little concept applied one other area in the RV. hint, it's the bedroom. Chances are at this point, Pinnacles with these updates have been out long enough, a lot of that might not be a surprise that originally was like, ooh, that's very, very cool. Now, Jayco does a neat thing over here. Directly across from the entertainment center, you got a TV on a televator. So, you know, when we're just looking for general TV action like this, we got it. We got the electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster, but you push the button and the TV comes right up to you, which is actually kind of cool. And it's what I like about this, a lot of RVs, if you sit at the entertainment center, it's like the TVs, I swear RV manufacturers, they keep mounting the TV higher and higher, and my neck keeps getting cranked more and more, but this doesn't do that. When that televator pops up, it's all right down here at like head level. It's not a neck crank. It's not a stressor, which is something that I really like. Now, there is a big time option applied to this one that I want to take a significant moment to touch on. First of all, this RV standard has dual 15,000 Coleman quieter air conditioners. Now, the bedroom air and the standard living room air are both also whisper ducted to knock the noise down even more. You can, however, on North Points and Pinnacles, obviously, since we're looking at it, option in a third 15,000 BTU Coleman air, and it does tie into the central ducting. That is one of those little fine details not all manufacturers are doing, is adding that third air into the central ducting system. It just tends to dump right here into the living room. Admittedly, it is the largest area of the RV, but in this kind of product, if I'm adding 3 airs, I want them. Now, you notice that one is not whisper ducted. It is still a quieter air conditioner, but remember that the air system directly above the television, the air system directly above your bed, those are basically double quiet systems because it's a quieter air, and then they add the whisper baffling to kind of drown that out a little bit more. So this is about as quiet as you're going to get a system with absolute maximum over-the-top airflow potential here. Now, a couple details, and then we're going to crack the kitchen open. We've got ourselves a nice little flip-flop shoe garage right by the door, so you don't got to track dirt through the whole RV. Also making it easy to keep her clean is that electric, what I call dustpan down there on the bottom. It's a little toe kick suction point for your central vacuum system. But right above that, we've got our full central vacuum hookup. And did you notice those little motion lights that kicked on right there? Part of the reason I've left all the bedroom and bathroom lighting off so far is to show you that you actually have what I call runway lighting. And in a Pinnacle, you even get it inlaid into the bathroom sink up there. And what's really cool about that is all of that lower indirect lighting, which goes from the bathroom to the bedroom to the kitchen even, it is actually all on one switch, but it's all down low where it's not going to disturb you. So if you got to wake up at night, use the bathroom, maybe sneak a bite of some of them yummy leftovers or something like that. Have you guys ever noticed how things like Sloppy Joe's, beef and noodles or whatever, that stuff is always way better the day after. And those little runway lights, they make it easier to see and get to. Starting right by the door, today we're looking at the solar controller panel right here. That is an optional piece of equipment. Once again, the Overlander solar package. The BM Pro Master Control Center is something that this is, I feel, the best of its kind out there. But I do want to show you one little pro tip. A lot of people don't realize some of these menus you can scroll. And as simple as that sounds, so many of the menus like this, they line up perfectly on the screen that you don't realize you can do that. So a little pro tip from your Uncle Josh. Now, what I like is, though, you don't have to scroll this stuff. There's just direct access buttons for our lights, awnings, slides, jacks, all sorts of things on here. And being in a Pinnacle, that also includes that tire pressure monitoring system. And since this RV that we're looking at today has the residential refrigerator, it does have an inverter. That's our little command center there to turn that on so that we don't end up with ice cream soup when we're towing. Or if you lose power for a little bit, you can flip it over to battery mode to try to keep the refrigerator up and running. Understand a residential refrigerator will very quickly sap a bank of batteries. But thankfully, this one that we're looking at today does have a second factory solar panel installed, which is one of those, again, less common options. Still not going to be enough to basically run that fridge all you want, wherever you want, however much you want. But again, the idea there being kind of like a little safety raft and tether, this has all the factory solar on it it possibly can. Now, of course, for some of that tall storage, you might need a 1 or 2 step stool, like the gloves and hat box above that entry area closet, which, first of all, can we give Jayco just a nice round of applause for giving us a place to actually hang a jacket right inside the door when we first walk in, which drives me crazy how many RV brands do not do that. Also, a second round of applause for giving us RV stove and oven combo here, that 4-burner stovetop from Insignia that looks, feels, functions very residential in nature. It does not feel like an RV kitchen set when you're in it. Like, you got that big residential size convection microwave up there. We've got the extra storage above that, you know, power TV up-down serving buffet, which of course you could very easily repurpose for like a little satellite brain system, and they give you all the nice little jumpers to do that. And this is another neat thing. With the residential refrigerator, that inverter, they use a little bit bigger inverter than most. You see those little white stickers? Any of the outlets around this RV where you see that white sticker, what it is actually indicating is that that is wired to the inverter. So you have multiple outlets in this that are live and able to function even when you are maybe just, you know, nowhere near the park facilities. But you may have also noticed this big butcher's block cutting board countertop extension here show up out of nowhere. It's kind of cool. You can keep the butcher's block thing. Well, if you don't want it, you can just leave it at home. No big deal. But you can hide it under the master bed because there's full storage down there. Pull it out when you need it. And that is a really cool additional kind of prep space or serving space. If you're over here prepping up a storm, you don't want to, you don't always have room to like set things out to actually snack on. So this can kind of be this is the ready table, and that can be the prep space over there. Got that big, beautiful skirted stainless sink wrapping down the front line. You've also got the Jayco drinking water system. This RV basically has, it's got its normal fresh tank and pump, or you could use city water. It has a separate little water tank in the belly that we'll see, and its own separate 12-volt pump, so you don't have to lug along a whole bunch of like extra bottles of water. The pop-up power tower over there, giving you some easy reach for appliances that keep having shorter and shorter cords, I swear. And then just the little touches, like a little drawer that pulls out. And those slots, by the way, that's where you can keep the solid surface countertop covers for transit, so they don't bang around the whole time. Now, one of the other things I really like about that BM Pro system that we looked at is not just the fact that you don't have to go digital and Bluetooth and R2-D2 beep boop with it, but all over the RV. If you're watching, there's like one of these by the sofa, there's one over here in the kitchen, they're in the bedroom, the bathroom. Every one of those mini panels, they're area context sensitive. So like that one activates, deactivates different lights and fans and things from the one in the bedroom, in the bathroom, and their positioning, it all makes sense. You know, like when you're sitting in the bed, you might want to turn on your ceiling lights, but you don't care about opening your awning. But when you're standing out here, well, you know, you absolutely sure do. By the way, these are temperature sensors that talk to your BM Pro system, so you can control your air and your heat right from that thing. A lot of people see those and they start picking at them or poking them with a screwdriver. What is that thing? Leave them alone. They're called thermistors. They're basically temp sensors. Porcelain foot flush stool over here, and if it can fit me, chances are it can fit you, and there's plenty of room around my hips and my shoulders. I'm a tall guy. I'm a long guy. I'm not a real thick, wide guy, but I think that this is going to be thick, wide guy and gal capable for sure. Now, remember that indirect accent lighting we were talking about? Notice how it even persists here in the half bath. And I suppose if you really need to, like, I think this would be a really cool place. I'd keep beach towels and stuff up top here. Let me get that out of the way. That stuff that you're not going to use every day, but like, if you're going to go beach toweling, I don't want to have to go traipsing through the whole RV up to the front master bath to get to it. Extra handy little spot here for maybe some hand soaps and whatnot here that you could use, like keep your refills here for the kitchen. How would you guys use all this space? I'm always really curious to see, like, every person's a little bit different. How would you pack these things up? Now, as we leave the living room and we start heading upstairs, one of the things I want to do is point the camera at my, ooh, I got some, hold on. Oh yeah, I got some good hat head going on here. Oh, that's really nice to put out there nationally across the entirety of YouTube to the whole world. Did you know that you can suffer from male pattern baldness and have a bad hair day? Because I didn't know until it happened. Nobody told me this is how, I was like, oh, I'm going to lose my hair. No more bad hair days. Wrong. Anyway, I got way off topic. What I wanted to point out was something related to my head, though. How much headroom I have in here. That's what I was trying to get to. And that is, what I like about Jayco is they have nice taller sidewalls, but they put a big vaulted ceiling in their upper decks. So that walking around here, I have all kinds of headspace. Now, even if I stand all the way against the sidewall, you see that I still have clearance above my head right here. This is Jayco, North Points, and Pinnacles, I think, are some of the best fifth wheels for really big, tall people. Stupid, bad hair day, male pattern baldness. Anyway, whatever. I'm not bitter, obviously. Anyway, now, this is actually one of the more... Sorry. This is one of the more atypical things I want to point out to you here. Like a lot of big luxury fifth wheels, they have that extra Cyclops bonus window above the bed. This is a really deep bedroom slide, which has your nice large breeze windows here. And like I said, this does have full storage below it, which is actually really cool. But if you're really looking at this, one of the things you might not realize, that's a 60 by 80 queen by request of the owners of this RV who ordered it this way. This floor plan, well, all Pinnacles standard have a 70 by 80 king. Pinnacle is actually industry uncommon in that you can option down to a queen if you want that extra walk around space, or if you want a little more room in the slide box, like maybe you want to put a little side stand over there, make her a little more CPAP friendly. Speaking of which, you do have easy reach bedside outlets, and you notice that white sticker. Remember what the sticker means? The sticker means inverter ready. And again, you don't see the square, so y'all won't hear the air, because this is double quiet. We've got whisper ducting. We got the Coleman quieter air conditioner system here. That's what this is. This is the air intake and return, effectively. Little filter pads up in there, so you can clean those out periodically, by the way. Then up here, you see all these RVs. They're like, oh, we're like Wi-Fi ready. You can go ahead and spend the extra money and get the thing. Pinnacles actually include the basically Wi-Fi extender router system, and it does have the ability to be LTE compliant. So if you need that kind of 4G data connectivity for some mobile traveling, I doubt in a Pinnacle it's going to be as common, but there is the ability to do like mobile gaming and stuff nowadays. That's becoming a bigger and bigger thing. As my generation, my Nintendo generation, folks, identify yourselves. Leave me a little comment if, you're a Nintendo kid. If you grew up getting NES games from Jeffrey Giraffe at Toys R Us, leave me a comment. Let me know you're still out there. And I'm not alone. I was so sad when Jeffrey Giraffe went out of business. But as my generation grows up, mobile gaming is becoming more and more of a thing, which is why I wish more manufacturers were doing a better job of giving us desk spaces. Now, this front bathroom is beautiful. Jayco was not the first to come out with a front bathroom arrangement like this, but for the longest time, and really, it's still pretty true, the Pinnacle 36FBTS that we were in is almost like the definitive front bathroom, just all the attention and detail and all the good things it does. Now, you see on this porcelain foot flush stool, there is a little sticker here that says SantaCon. We're going to talk a little bit more about that outside. And I'm not going to, give you a picture of myself sitting on this toilet. I think you get the idea that I have enough room within this one. What is nice, though, is that shower. This shower that Pinnacle first introduced that has been, adopted by so many others. I say the word copy too much. Every manufacturer copies everybody else. Jayco borrows inspirations from other brands, and brands borrow inspiration from Jayco, and that's how the evolution of RVs happen, and then they all have their unique points. This is where it all originated. And by the way, in case you're curious, that flip-down seat over here, the wood, it's teak, for first of all, it's a nice hardwood material, but it is 300-pound rated. So if you are a bigger type person, you need to sit down to bathe, or if you just prefer to sit down and shave your leg, you're not a bigger person. Doesn't matter, you can. And the height adjustable shower hardware, that is one of those nicer features that a lot of manufacturers have kind of very silently phased out that maybe you didn't realize was happening. And the extra skylight above, well, that's just Pinnacle doing Pinnacle things. That is just over-the-top kind of opulence features. You don't need it in here. It's light and bright as it is. You have one above the shower, but it's a big space. Why not let the sun shine in? Now, over here, this is either huge additional like dry storage. This could be long-term overflow pantry, those uncommonly used appliances, big stuff. Or you could put a combo or stackable washer dryer in there. That is going to be, if you're looking to do that full timing, I always want to be in the RV. I don't like laundromat kind of concepts. That's where that's going to work for you. And what's cool is by putting the washer dryer prep over there, if you do install a washer dryer, that means that you don't have to sacrifice any portion of this extra wide body, 102-inch wide Big front walk-in closet with a true cedar lining, by the way. Once again, I love that symmetry. It has 4 hanging bars, which could be removed. You've got all the shelf dresser space and a laundry hamper to put yesterday's clothes someplace now that it's today. Again, it's all those little things. There is one little point, I like to share sometimes things that I would like to see different in RVs. I'm very happy with what I see here. I really would like it if even one of those shelves inside of one of those doors was removed and it gave me space for a wastebasket. A little thing like that would go a long way for me in the RV, especially in something like a Pinnacle, which isn't just going to be a weekend camper. This is going to be something that some people are living in, you know. That's the kind of use that you see out of one of these. I like the double medicine cabinet, by the way, but just the mirror in the middle makes everything look and feel wide open. And then again, those extra little accent lights both in the sink and down below so you can see where you're going at night. I love those little touches. And a quick look at her here in travel mode with the slide outs all closed. Like most big fifth wheels, with the slides closed, we will have limited access to certain things, but they have done a good job of making sure some key points are available. Interesting note here, with the residential refrigerator, you'll always maintain 100% access to the refrigerator, but you will basically lose the freezer unless you open up some slides. That's actually not terribly uncommon in big fifth wheels like this with similar floor plans. Interestingly, the gas-electric refrigerator, just because the way the doors open, since it's a 4-door fridge, it basically remains pretty much fully accessible in transit. So which one works best for you kind of just depends on what your camping intentions are. If you're going to do a little more traveling, a little bit more parking, and obviously if we got to pull over here at the Cracker Barrel and take a snooze, we can get in bed.
And you know, for a second I was sitting there thinking to myself, where am I going to begin outside this thing? There's so much to cover. And then I realized the answer was just staring me in the face. That paint package. That is not how a Pinnacle normally looks, although it wouldn't offend me if it did, because good gravy does that look a cut above right there. Pinnacles have a number of paint package options that are available for you. And I haven't really found one that I think looks bad. I think that there's just some that just kind of speak to me a little more. And it's also a neat little opportunity to kind of get a chance to sort of, I don't know, customize it and make it match up with maybe your vehicle or something like that. You see over here we've got that outdoor entertainment center, which is something actually, Mr. Haylett is a Pinnacle user himself. He's in a 36 SSWS, the slide in a slide Pinnacle. He loves that TV over here, kind of like AM radio. He just sort of plays it on his campsite. He'll tune into whatever local campground station is around, well, a radio station near the campground. I don't know that I phrased that very well, but my wife will confirm for you. I'm not great at phrasing a lot of things. And he just kind of, he doesn't sit outside to watch TV. He just plays some noise, or maybe every now and then you find out about something local here. I'm not doing my job if I don't tell you about the absolutely unrivaled, best-in-class 2+3 year warranty for full-time RVing that the Pinnacles have here. North Points, Eagles, Talon, Seismics, they all share that warranty, by the way. I think at this point, Jayco has more fifth wheels suited for full-time RVing than any other manufacturer. You also see that this has those zero-gravity stable steps, which on a big 4-plank step like this is a nice find. Now, over here, you also see that the outside speakers are mounted really down low so that you can really hear them easily on your campsite without having to blow the neighbors away. And I love how the drop frame is actually fully skirted out. You see that little kind of angular skirt space right there. As we look at this, just huge pass-through. My mother packs very heavily when she packs my parents' fifth wheel, and I don't think even she could fully fill that thing up. You see the little jug that we talked about there for the drinking water system. Of course, you could always take that out. But you see here, it actually is forced air heat ducted even into the pass-through, and you're looking at a double-sided radiant barrier here just to help keep like every multiple layer and segment and section of this RV individually like heated and treated in a sense, because the underbelly is insulated, has a radiant barrier, forced air heating. You see that you've got direct heating in the belly, not to mention how you're creating kind of like a thermal barrier between the outside and the inside, even through those baggage doors. So the weather has to go through several layers to start affecting you here. Now, another thing I like about this one are those big giant awnings. Because this thing does have an extended front deck with that bath and a half model, and because Jayco does extend their awnings forward, you get yourself some serious patio space. Now up front we got that MoreRide pin box. That will go right along with the MoreRide suspension system. And the Goodyear Endurance radials rated for 87 miles per hour. That is way faster than I want anybody ever even considering towing one of these things. Now, a Pinnacle is a 102-inch wide body, and that is a very important distinction from many other wide body fifth wheels out there. There's a lot of very nice 100-inch wide body fifth wheels. The trick here, pardon me, is that 100-inch wide body fifth wheels tend to still ride on a 96-inch wide chassis. There's a little less structural integrity there, and the RV ends up being a little tipsier. When this is actually made on a wide body chassis like this for 102 inches wide, then everything is just a little more stable. You've got more support under the sidewalls. The tires are set to a point where there's a little more towing stability. And the SantaCon option over here. This is something actually we used to apply to like even Eagles and Eagle HTs here at Haylett RV. It was a feature that was really hard to find anywhere else. And I kind of wish more people would have appreciated it, because if you've never used it, you don't realize how nice and easy that simplifies the waste dumping time or experience, I guess you could call it. There's a good look at those Goodyear radials. Now, those are the Goodyear Beast radials. These are actually an even larger tire than you find than you can normally find in this class and segment. Like, these tires are so large you can't just throw them on any fifth wheel. It has to be engineered specifically for this. Now, this is a 6-point hydraulic leveling system, and they use a different kind of fluid in these because Pinnacles are a hot-cold rated fifth wheel. They actually use a type of fluid in their auto leveling system that basically doesn't freeze and gel up because, you know, what good is a cold-rated fifth wheel if you can't use it in the cold because the leveling system isn't working? Well, you won't have that problem over here. Now, in the back corner, one of the real signature features of a Jayco Pinnacle is the, I always struggle on how to figure out to say this, the powered cord reel. So that's a 50 amp cord that has a 12-volt power extension and retraction right there. Now, she is fresh off the apple cart. Came straight from the manufacturer, like just now. The driver just unhooked from it. We will be going through and giving this thing a full bath top to bottom and inside and out, you know, just to kind of shine it up before the folks take it home. And we do all that at no additional charge. And I point that out because not everybody does. You got the 2-inch receiver hitch on the back there. That actually is an optional piece of equipment, which surprises me. And something I want to address here is there have been a lot of shortages in the marketplace this year for pieces and parts, and I even made a specific video describing a fiberglass shortage and how it's affecting caps. And Pinnacles are a brand that many of them are currently being built with a rear wall, not a rear cap. So you're looking at this going, hey dude, what gives? This was a personal build, a customer's personally built unit, and pre-ordered before that shortage came into place. So Jayco has been making sure that they are still honoring the build expectation of that customer by making sure that pre-existing orders were already getting rear caps. I just, in case we have some regular viewers who are wondering, like, dude, what is going on here? There's the gist of it. Down below here, we have ourselves a little propane hookup, which is I like this position of it because it's out of the way and it's kind of back here in a very sort of almost wind protected, a little bit anyway, corner. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to block all of the wind, of course, but it's kind of private, it's kind of back. I always feel like when I'm grilling, like there's a lot of people who are like sniffing around the place, and I'm like, you know, get away from my brats, man. Once again, these folks added nearly everything they could to it. Like, you see the slide awnings there, giving us a little more protection, a little less upkeep, and also if you're going to be in a really hot kind of place, it's going to help provide some extra almost free shade to those things to help keep the temperatures more even. And you see two other options that we're looking at right here. Well, three technically. First of all, that third air conditioner, the one in the middle, this has three 15,000 BTU Coleman Quiet air conditioners here. All Pinnacles, all North Points even. They are all third air prepped and ready, so that is something that could be done here. Additionally, you see the 190 watt panels right here. This has the Overlander solar package with a 190 watt panel, and then a second panel was also optioned on this to give them basically as much factory solar as Jayco could possibly offer. So what do you think, everybody? That right there, retirement goals. Hashtag retirement goals should be written on the front of this thing. That's what it should be called, not a Pinnacle, retirement goals. Leave me some comments, let me know what you think about it, and just like these folks did. Give our folks a call when you're ready. If you're curious, we can get you quotes on a personal build just like this, or maybe a more standard series like, hey, how would you normally have one of those in stock? We can get you figures on all that too. We don't do hidden dealer fees. We can deliver this thing from coast to coast if you don't feel like hauling it. Maybe you're looking for more of a park camping situation, a seasonal. We can set you up with anything. We're family owned and operated. All we need is a chance to work with you. So when you're ready, we're ready. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Halet camping, everyone. Get away from my brats, man.